The Beast is back. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Beast Mode. Marshawn Lynch still churning out big games like he did a week ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. If you got to fight against that, they've got to come out ready to play.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, here's Justin Hardy. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
They go play action here on first down. And it's brought in by Eric Decker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that...
Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Hauschka with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led out by a man who started more Super Bowls than anyone in NFL history, the great Tom Brady.
I can't help but admire the career Tom Brady has had. The numbers are off the charts. The Super Bowl championships and rings, we know that they are incredible. But how about the durability? Had one season that he missed, most of that season because of a knee injury. The rest of the time, he answers the bell and wills his team to victory more times than not. Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And this This is a true fan favorite here in the Northwest, Marshawn Lynch. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 23 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jabal Sheard. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Brady. He'll dump it off, complete to Lynch. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break up that big carry again. And instead, it works opposite.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Brady now on 1st down. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The numbers for Howard a week ago: 9 catches, 105 yards.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards, and he's number 7 currently, hoping to move up as time goes on.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Lynch, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, Brady, and this is going to be incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. Busts through the tackle. Oh, he breaks another. Fights free yet again. Meanwhile, we will not get another play as time will run out on this first quarter. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. 4th-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go, but I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Now Hausch get a tack on the extra point. Hauschka adds the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Handoff comes to Lynch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They run again on first down. Lynch. Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll set up a throw. Unable to corral him. He fights through. High throw, but he makes the catch. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And they'll run it here. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They'll look to throw here, and this is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now back to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
How about the defensive stand here from first and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you'd mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Brady to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Howard. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Brady now on 1st down. And fights him off. They dump it off to Lynch. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Brady to throw again. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. They set up the screen to Lynch. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now Brady again. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Brady's got his guys 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Again, they'll throw with Brady. Throw left side, complete. That's Howard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
That throw by Brady, incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Looking back to the air on second down. It's Brady. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be third and forever. We are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin out west at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, and it's the Rams who are out in front as those teams approach halftime. Kenny Stills, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Chiefs. Andrew Luck back and better than ever. 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Falcons. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now Brady throwing on second down. And Nelson's got him here right side. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Brady going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Howard. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. But he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Brady. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First target, first catch, and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Right side, there's Decker. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Sheds off the tackle. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He's going to rifle, end zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Taylor Gabriel, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week he totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Hauschka with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On second down, here's Brady. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Brady. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sanders. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw on second down. Brady, he'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be third down. From the gun, it's Brady. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And they're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They'll run it now out of the gun. Breaks a tackle. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, and you have to get the ball back. Everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking up the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands. Whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop?
And there's another one of those incredible highlight reel catches. One-handed, deep downfield, another big completion. I know this, partner. As a defender, I don't know how you avoid watching what they do. It's everywhere. All the highlight shows, watching it on Madden, trying not to get intimidated before you go out and have to play against these guys and try and stop them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Here we go now. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Seahawks, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.
The bell is tolling. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we're going to look at Le'Veon Bell, fresh off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With that, we're out to Seattle for the 32nd and final home opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And he and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
And those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys didn't come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now let's go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll look to throw here. And he's got it. And he will have the first down before he's blocked down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to...
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Brought in here by Tyler Eifert, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Caught. Eifert over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field. Because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move in the running game.
On second down, it's Bell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right
Still
tackle.
second down.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Got his man, it's Eifert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now whistles as time has run out on this first quarter. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Hey, I think he's locked in.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his rhetorical skills were on point.
Oh, and now he pulls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who will run behind it. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
A good pickup there at 22. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now back to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Taylor Gabriel with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Hauschka now for the extra point. Hauschka adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On first down, Rodgers. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats, scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. second down, here's Rodgers. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Okay, after those first two drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be calling for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Now they try the right side here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. They'll set up to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
And 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Hauschka with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was that 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration. You'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Rams who are out in front in that one. Nick Foles with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, let's get over to the Rockies and check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Jared Goff has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Sterling Shepard, a touchdown catch in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll drop the throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Bryant with a catch right side. And a gain there of 11 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Hauschka with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go.
Offense.
Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
319! 319!
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Rodgers. And Eifert has it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
The left side completion to Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Here's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. How good has he been throwing the football, though? Despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This is caught. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Another shot from the one on second and goal. He'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there. Rodgers now on 1st down. Over the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Rodgers to throw once more. Now a desperation throw. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Extra point try good by Gano as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Gano out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And they'll run it here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
On 3rd down, it's Warren, and he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
And they'll go on the ground. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
All right. Get moving, man. I don't want to see anyone walking around. Winners do not walk. Let's see some hustle out there today. We got a big game this week.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Hot! Hot! Hurry up, here we go! 319! 319! Hot! Now let's go! Blue 90! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
This is it. We are going for gold.
319! Hot!
All right. Small steps in the right direction. That's what we've been talking about. And you know what? Today you took a lot of those small steps. I'm proud of you. Keep it up.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Now let's go. 319. Hurry up, here we go. Blue lining. Here we go now. 319. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green. Here we go now. 319. 319. Here we go now. 319. Hurry up, here we go. 319. Hurry up, here we go. 319. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gordon along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
First down, Mayfield. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully. Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single-covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people, and right away, they take it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there. And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does. And out now come the Seahawks. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 54 yards. He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage. Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open. 23 yards on the play. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much? Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score. And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Hill shedding the tackle. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 24 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They go play action. Mayfield. He sets to fire deep. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Mayfield with it once more. Got it open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see.
Here we go now.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are tied at 7. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to rifle one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. A touchdown apiece here in this first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Detroit! Detroit!
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Eric Decker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Here we go now. Boom,
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Looking sideline, incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold
Here
up.
we go now. Boom,
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now Eric Decker and company getting ready to go again on offense. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They're going to look to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down. This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. This will be caught at about the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Back to throw again. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Hauschka with the extra point. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. McKinnon here, it's complete. And a loose football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Mayfield now on second down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Mayfield on first down. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Mayfield to the sideline, and look at that catch, dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 12 more yards there. Another first down. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And again, it's Mayfield. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Barber. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Set. Green 39. Green.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Going to the air again with Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 5. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd down, Mayfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. In for the score. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Sanders on for the extra point. And oh, it's blocked.
Turnover. That's what we do. Other way.
Sanders now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Nick Foles, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we head east to Detroit to check on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. Cooper Kupp, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
12 yards there as they move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half. Just being...
And this is caught. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Eric Decker with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A first down throw for Mayfield. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Mayfield on play action. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run with Chubb, and he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now let's go.
from the shotgun. It's Mayfield. Pass incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Mayfield to throw it. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to...
And got his man complete. There he goes left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Taylor Gabriel, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set! Blue landing! Blue landing!
First down, Mayfield. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
To throw, Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And oh, he coughed it up, and the Seahawks have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Bryant with a catch right side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Right back to him on first down. And running with power here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, I can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield over the middle, complete. It's Hodges. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
All right, here we go. Blue, 90.
Mayfield down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. Here's Mayfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Mayfield looks to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Mayfield with it once more. There's that man again. It's complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Mayfield looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And the Seahawks have recovered. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And shedding through the tackle. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. They will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll drop down to 1-3. They'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL.